things where you never do for me. When you tell him to mash up.
All right, people, we are back. I just wanna know how you guys feeling.
We're feeling good, man. Very good.
What's in your cup? Y'all have it in your cup?
What's in my cup?
What's in your cup, Kim?
Well, it was rum cream.
It was. What's in your cup, Jay? And everybody know I'm Johnny Walker. Blue, the blue done. What's in your cup, Kendra? And Tiff?
Jamaican rum cream.
Alright, so it's all about what's in your cup.
Do have so much more.
You don't need no more. You don't need no more. Anyway, we are back and we are going to be talking about American men. And you know what? My girl had to remind me that I did date an American man. But I'll tell you about that.
I know, right?
Shit. I need a whole damn to finish this to talk about it.
Finish it undone.
But go ahead. Let me know. Because what really happened was,
So what had happened?
What happened was my experience with an American guy.
Wonderful.
The man cooked for me.
He cooked good?
Let me tell us, the man. He was a house husband, and I didn't want that. But that was the first man that did my laundry and folded it. I called my mom. I was like, "Mommy, my laundry was done and it's folded. Now you frightened." I didn't know how to act. I did the man. When I came home, dinner was cooked. He was did homework with my boys. Like he was one very like.
So what happened?
And he was a thug because I do love my thugs. He was an intelligent thug.
So what happened?
I just didn't want a house husband. I wanted
so you have a good man. Will cook and clean and take care of your youth.
Yeah, but I wasn't used to that.
And he was a thug?
He was girl.
Which part him? Give me him number, cause he was tall. You playing too much.
He was. Yeah. But I just didn't know how to appreciate. I like a man that go out there and work.
So he didn't work?
He worked, but
what? You sound like a man that got everything she wanted.
No,
and didn't appreciate. That would happen to a lot, especially when you have been scarred by Jamaican men.
That was it, I think. Because
I think she have a type.
She does.
Sometimes what happens is in her case.
Right now, I'm under the liquor right now. He was. And I'm not crying because I miss him.
There's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? But
I wasn't used to that.
You wasn't used to a good man.
I wasn't used to a good man. That's a shame.
It's
a shame.
Saying you had a type. Chef Jay was saying you probably had a type.
I had a type. I had the doggy dog, the rough. Didn't know how to. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I never had no man do my damn laundry. Which Jamaican man? I did not.
Excuse me?
I've never had a man that done that.
You know, but Jamaican man that wash my clothes and wash my panty and everything.
They never had that. I couldn't even get a Jamaican man to go buy pads for me.
God, Jesus have mercy.
I tell you, I was just in the wrong. A country we come from, you know. A country we come. No, seriously. I've just never had that. I guess I was just looking in the wrong places.
Maybe.
I was looking in the wrong places. It was all about that was sexy.
But the sad part is you're conditioned to that when you got something real and something genuine, you couldn't even appreciate.
I couldn't appreciate. I did not. I couldn't appreciate.
She didn't know how to.
Let me tell you what. I can tell you why it didn't work.
Tell me.
Baby mama drama. Baby mama. I was older than him. I was older than him as usual.
No. Question.
As usual.
I'm sorry. Question. Excuse me.
Right.
Are you sure it was baby mama?
It was.
Wait, minute, I didn't ask my question.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Or did you self-sabotage?
No, it was. But first of all, my baby was like 13. No, about 10, 11. His was like 2 years old.
You were cool, girl. What do you expect?
I want to be with a younger guy, not the damn 1-year-old, 2-year-old. I don't want to be no mama. And then they were coming over and oh my god. Oh my God! And the baby mama
So
dropped
you want the cougar without the responsibility?
No, I was.
Andrea wasn't the right man.
I was not
The right
ready.
woman
I
for
was
that
not
man.
ready for
No, at all.
No,
She
that's
ma-
it.
she makes
As simple as that. She my friend, but you wasn't the right woman for you.
Nope.
I don't want to be with a 2-year. I don't want to be taking care of a 2-year-old.
It's not about the kids.
No, it's not
the
about
baby.
you, B. I'm just saying.
No, I
you wasn't the
understand.
right woman for him.
For that
And
man.
he wasn't the right man for you at that time, honey. That's all.
We had fun, and we actually lived together and everything. But
He was looking clearly.
I don't want every other weekend no 2-year-old coming and I gotta. I don't want that.
After the 2-year-old.
That's not the point.
Cleaned, girl.
You know the 2-year-old gets older, right? Then you become 3 and 4 and 5, and you get to stop doing that.
He was a good father. He was a good father, and he actually went for custody for his daughter. So he was in court. He was good with. I just
So
was.
you were the problem.
Yeah,
I just was.
Self-sabotage.
I was just.
You 100%.
I was just not.
Let me tell you what it was.
Some woman
No, let me
that
tell you.
just want a certain man and everything like that. She's just.
Let me tell you what it was. There was nothing else wrong with that man, and she had to find a reason, and the reason was the baby, because there was nothing else wrong.
Exactly.
And it's okay. You self-sabotage.
When I tell you, when I tell you that
But that wasn't for you.
it wasn't.
At all.
That's why I was saying he should.
You're absolutely right.
He-
That relationship
it was to the
for you.
point too. It was to the point where
Then you wanna come-
she ain't no help either.
Right.
But it was to the point where I was disgusted. Like, when are you leaving? Like, no, seriously. I was like, when are you leaving? I can't. And then the baby mama thing.
Okay, so sorry,
couldn't-
I don't mean to cut you, but what I'm hearing is your American man that you dated was a good American man.
He was.
So now, coming back to the original statement of
He was.
American man versus Jamaican man, America 1, Jamaica 0. I'm not here.
Sounds like it.
That's what I'm hearing.
On her standpoint.
There's no comparison. I mean,
I did.
That's not the question of the topic.
yeah, but
Yes.
there's no comparison.
I guess I self-sabotage.
I'm sorry. No, I'm
And the so-called friend that I had, no name, didn't even say, Andrea, Reecy, no.
Nah,
Wow.
but, you know,
but yeah.
I kind of understand her. Just speaking, if you have a child, for example, say your child was 10, you have to kind of condition yourself to go back to 2.
So a
Absolutely.
2-year-old.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I kind of see her point.
I was
as
changing
far as that.
diapers.
So I have a
and-
question. I'm sorry. Let me
Besides that,
Let me rebuttal that for 1 second. How long into the relationship did you know that he had a 2-year-old?
No, from day one.
So
I knew that,
You
but
knew going
my
in.
thing was, I knew
You
that,
understand
but
what I'm
my
saying?
thing is that I didn't think that it would affect. I really didn't. I got along with them.
But it's a package deal, just like
I know that, but I didn't think that it would
Because he could have
affect
been
me.
that way too.
Yeah,
And then how would you have
The daughter who was like 6 years old, 7, didn't bother me. I could, because I was more like, I really spoiled her.
At the end of the day, you know,
but
from
it was
day
the
one.
toy. I had to change diapers and all
Hey,
that.
you pick him up with a picnic.
I'm
Right.
not.
End of discussion.
Can I tell you, it's the same way when a woman, if she has
Listen.
her picnic in 2 years,
You see-
she's 2 years old, and she have a 6-year-old, guess what? What if he
Come
feel
on,
the same
Cal.
way and everything like
I
that?
know.
He could feel the
I
same way
just,
too.
I guess I wasn't ready.
Call, you have to take the cash.
I guess I wasn't ready.
You were not ready, and you missed out on a great opportunity.
But guess
and
what?
I hope you didn't ruin him for somebody
no,
else.
trust me, he wasn't ruined. Listen, he moved out. I told him that he had to do. I said, you need to go to your mom, go back or whatever. Went to Atlanta. My son was like, Mommy, do you know that he's back here? That Negro came back. I'm like, what are you leaving?
You always have problem with people feel you know, something wrong with you. You need to change your locks.
I know.
You always have problem.
I guess he's the one that get away.
I know you.
I
So
guess
that's
he's the
fine.
yes.
Oh no,
Yes.
I'll come back to the conversation.
Hello.
But anyways, so to come back to your,
You know what?
they have no behavior. They have no behavior.
Only with Reecy.
No coos.
No little manners.
She ain't know. Oh, somebody know you. Look here.
Just that quick, I forgot.
Hey, it's all about keeping it real, alright? Yes.
Sorry, guys. I was just like, somebody said Miss Jimmy. I'm like, wait, what?
No lucky.
Somebody trying to blow up her phone to find out,
Right.
Oh, Chef J is.
Who's Chef J?
That's
What was your
it.
question?
Yeah, so Kendra, yes, yeah. What was your question?
She's so quiet and patient. She's so patient.
Probably.
She has so many
So we have
questions.
excuse Kendra.
Okay.
She has a question?
I have so many now.
Alright.
But I'll get back to you in a minute.
What's the question?
Oh, you're going to get back to me?
Go with your question, Abby.
So my first question actually goes back to when we were actually talking about Jamaican men. Now let's be clear. They cheat across the board. It just comes in a different dress. It's the same hoe, but it's in a different dress. So each culture has the way that their men cheat. Some men try to cheat by covering it by reason. I have so many wives because God said, I have this family, or there's other cultures that I used to do taxes, and it would be, they would have families in other countries and have their woman here and the family here. So it's not just Jamaican men. We can't just stomp on them. They just seem like they perfected it to a way where it's like
They go to school.
out in the open.
They have their PhD.
I know that.
They have their PhD.
Listen, the subject was the whole thing was about Jamaican man and versus American man. I have white women say the same thing. I have white girlfriends and they say the same thing. So me know white man, me know American man, me know every man.
Yeah, all cheat.
Yes.
But we're talking about Jamaican man and them in a different. They just on a whole different.
But my
whatever.
question
I
is
didn't
this.
teach a
That
class.
brings me to my question though, because my thing is what is it in the culture that makes it so almost like expected or accepted?
It is accepted
Because we, the women,
It's pretty tough for Jamaican men, honestly, because there's so much beautiful Caribbean.
Watch out, that's right.
Feel
Look
sorry.
at you.
I talk to my brother and I say, "Yo, brother, me really know some. I feel sorry for you, though. It's just so much, and it's just hard for you to just really just say be committed to one. Them laugh off of me, But I said I can understand that, so it's kind of a bit of a challenge for you. All these beautiful, gorgeous women and everything like that.
Your eyesight.
Yes. Mad you want it. Everything they say they hate me.
Listen. No.
Tell us the truth. Talk to us.
You ladies have a point, but come on, the truth.
wow.
What you say?
What are you drinking?
Hold on, wait. We never asked. Wait. What you just said?
But listen.
You said
Jamaican men don't cheat.
You know what, Jay? I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally,
No girl and girl in a bongo. Listen. No, really, actually. I mean, Jamaican culture, we brought up on certain things, certain music, certain lifestyle. So sometimes people don't understand, as a child or as a kid, what you listen to or what you grew up in.
100%.
That's what you come up to do.
100%.
You understand?
100%.
And not until when you get older or you kind of hitting stunning block all the time. You're like, shit, maybe something's wrong. You start look at different ways.
Or you get out of that culture. And you see a different
so people look at
perspective.
it Jamaican man cheating. No, sometimes you take it back to the roots. Where's it coming from?
And we women, the woman enable it. The woman enable it.
No, but no, you can't. We're not blaming. We're not blaming. No, we can't really blame.
I think they do.
We can't really blame women too much for that. Because when you look at this. Like, for example, look at the culture ship. Jamaican music right now. What happened in Jamaica? They all gunman. I be a gunman music playing. Back in the days, I be a beanie man to listen to. And guess what happened? I gallus.
You're 100%
So it depends on what you're listening to. So if you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and here be a man for enough girl, girl not bungling, of course you are.
And the thing about it, it's culturally accepted.
And it's not only Jamaica, because you got all this. And the funny thing, you said something early on, but Jamaican people like to get Jamaican for a certain thing, but Jamaican might set the trend, but everybody else after do the same thing as Jamaican do. I live in Antigua, I live in St. Lucia, I live in Dominica, all those places, and guess what happened? Y'all look up to Jamaican like we're gods.
And we set the trend.
Look up to Jamaican like we're gods.
And we set the
I go to
trend.
those places.
We don't know what to
look up exactly. We need conversation. I live in all those countries, and they look up to Jamaica like we're gods. You understand?
Jamaican
Jamaicans
man,
set the trend.
There's Jamaican man, there's the other everybody else.
Understand?
They're in their own class by themselves. Everybody wants to do it
everything that we do. You understand? So sometimes it's just the influence that we grow on.
is
Listen,
on a
Let me tell you
different
something. You can be anywhere.
And swag is
see-
on a different level. Until
It is.
It's sweet.
But you can't walk. I don't like Shanty. You can't walk and see a man and say,
You
yo.
just don't care. You're just like, yo,
Jamaican.
let me show you
I
how to do it.
walk. Me tell you the same as Jamaican.
What?
When Avon, me tell you the same as Jamaican.
When
But the way
the man
you look,
talk and say certain things, you just look for them like,
listen,
you know them. You see them and you know
I
them.
give you a
Yeah, man,
perfect example.
Instantly.
you can be the strongest, stronger. That
It
one of the
don't
strongest man
matter.
out there. Remember me tell you that. When them say certain things, or the way them act, or the way they behave, or whatever and everything, trust me. Yes.
I was
When I just-
She remember this. She remember this. You know, they share
Listen, when I just moved to the States like 10 years ago, you know, I was working this place, and this guy from, I think it's Cincinnati or Chicago, whatever, and the guy, I practice speak proper English when I was in Jamaica, so Trent guy, he said, yo, you have an accent, what is that? I said, I'm Jamaican. And the guy started real up around me like, bro, what's that all about? He said, yo, you need to speak your accent. Yo, I love the way you talk, bro. You know, if I take you back to my city, bro, you know how many girls I would get? And this. And I'm like, this dude is going crazy over my accent. I'm like, bro. And he was like, bro, if I even tell him that me and your friend in Jamaica, you know how much girls I could get?
Sure.
Yes.
I'm gonna
No,
boobs
but
you.
real-
But I know, right?
Hey, Jamaican man, them know that.
But most of the times people have look.
Boss you.
No, listen,
Hey.
but no. Another
Yeah,
thing.
you see?
But listen, sometimes people look. Listen, I hate them, but listen. We still love you, you know. But yeah, listen.
But
The
it's true.
real thing is this. Most of the times, people look at Jamaican and cheat and this and that. But you know, sometimes it's not that we put ourselves out there. Sometimes the way we carry ourselves, other people pull up to us. And
Absolutely.
sometimes you're in a spot and you just go with the flow, and then things happen and you're like, oh, why I cheat, that boy, this and that. But you don't. You put yourself again, like I said, if you carry yourself with integrity, you're alpha male. Women gonna want to attract themselves. Ben, he's a leader. I want to be around
No,
him.
Kimia, hold off. You can't go further.
So then
Continue.
So then you know what I mean. Out of you out there, just enjoying yourself. 50 women come to you
Of
versus
course.
a guy who chasing one over there.
Of course.
So then
And women don't want nothing easy neither. Them always want what they cannot have.
And that's another thing.
Exactly.
And it go both way. Like you know what I mean. Once you can't have it, that's when you want it.
That's when you want it.
That's when you
And
want
I
it.
was with an
You understand?
alpha, so I know.
So you in that spot then, you know what I mean?
But I
What
mean,
happened?
to be honest, let's switch
You know?
the conversation of sorts, because when I talk about how Jamaican man cheat and how American man cheat or don't cheat, can we talk about how a Jamaican man love him woman as much as him cheat?
No, listen.
Let's talk the truth.
No, they do, because when they
There's
love,
a
they
different
love.
level of
Yes, they
love
do. And if
from
they
a
respect
Jamaican
you and
man.
rate
Me
you,
not lie.
yes, if they respect and rate you, yes,
Yo,
they
me
will,
hate them
yes.
like poison, but me love them
No.
same way.
Yes. They say me hate them, but me love them bad.
Same way. You cannot help it.
Yes.
There's a
American
love-hate
men have
relationship.
Hold on, Kendra, I have a point. Wait a second.
That's the one thing that American men and Jamaican men have in common. It's the way of expression, though. You will know for real when any man loves you, but it's how they show you. Like, for example, an American man, when they love you, they want to surround you with beautiful things. They want to treat you with tenderness.
I like
They
when they
want
say
to-
you my OG.
What? Nobody
You my
says
OG.
that.
See, Yankees. Yankees
Oh,
are
really?
OG.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want you to say that.
That's a No. But the Americans, that's how they talk. They say they're OG.
Oh, wow.
But it also,
See, I know they grew up.
but it also depends on where you're from.
Right.
It depends on where you're from. So,
Yes,
for example,
yes.
when I had the first time I started coming down south, I went out to a club in Atlanta. I didn't know what was going on. I'd never seen dancing like that before. I was like, okay, why are everybody bouncing and up on each other? Like, and these guys coming to dance with me, and they're doing all this, and I'm like, wait a minute, you need to no. So as every guy's coming asking to dance, I'm like, whoa.
So hold on.
They didn't even say nothing.
What? In the first?
So you never danced in the Jamaican before?
That's
The
different.
The Jamaican
That's different.
You
Remember, I
can't
told you
breathe.
I showed my son a video of a bashment. We'll go into that later. But that's totally different. But when you cross back over and you're in the American side, it's like there's a different way. And it's like for American culture, it's a little bit, especially when you're from up north, it's a little bit disrespectful. You come down south. So a guy came up to me, like after all these dudes just come up to me, like, I'm like, wait a minute, what does this mean? You need to go somewhere. So the other guy comes up
What
to
does
me.
this mean?
Hey, what are you talking about?
Like, hey.
Hey, let you
This other guy comes up to
You know
me
what,
and he
Loki?
does like this. Now the music's loud and him just simply doing like that. I said, "You're from Chicago?" He said, "Yes."
Respect.
And I danced with him because in different regions of America, it's different ways of approaching, and they still have their ways of being
Well,
respectful and
North
being
is different from South
disrespectful.
anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, North
Absolutely.
American men are totally different. The Southern American men,
I do not like
Nah,
Florida
about
men.
them.
yes, they don't have nothing about them.
I don't like Florida
No,
men.
not all.
No
But
offense.
the Northern, yeah, sorry, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
The Northern
20
American
years.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't get to know about it.
I love- Listen, I love me a New York dude. I love
New York
them.
American men is
I love them Timbs and wife beaters and that.
But there's just
Them-
the way they know what they want.
Yes,
they say what they
yes,
want,
I
and
love
they,
that.
They move a certain way, and
They do.
don't.
They do.
They move that
Absolutely.
way in
love my
life. They
industry
move that
man,
way in
them too.
business.
Oh, that is my weakness.
Them have to
But
have
there's
something.
about balance. There has to be a
Yeah,
balance.
me can't
Cause you could have in the
Yeah,
streets,
true.
and you done some handicap.
Yeah, no,
I'm getting over that right
that's not
now.
gonna
I'm
work
getting
for
over.
me.
Y'all throwing shade. Y'all throwing shade at me right now. Y'all throwing shade.
No one.
Hey, when me say fool full of handicap,
Yo.
it's not a joke.
Exactly. No,
Remember, the one that I was with in the street but don't have a liquor set. You remember Moose from Archie?
Mm-hmm.
Moose was smarter than him. I know some Moose.
That is so wrong.
Yeah.
You want a box?
It's an American story. You had a boyfriend.
Oh, that's time.
I'm not letting y'all guys this episode without going into that.
Oh yeah. What is it?
Oh, I don't have much to say.
No, share experience.
It was very short lived. I mean,
Tell.
I dated an American guy for about 3 years.
Yeah, that was long. I know.
No, that different. So that was younger years, right? But I mean, you see the difference in the culture, right? And it's funny because his mom was more Christian or whatnot. And I would show up in the house in all kinds of outfits, and she's like, "Where's she going? In your house? Where do you think I'm going? I'm here to see your son. What you mean?" But I mean, I have no behavior. I'm sorry, I have none. But I was younger at the same time. But what I can say between American men and Jamaican men, there's a difference in outlook on life. Prime example: this man don't have a passport. Brother, listen, if you don't, they don't go anywhere.
Yeah, they take
And
Greyhound.
The perspective of life is so limited.
They take the Greyhound bus
and so
everywhere.
short. And no offense to anyone.
Florida?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
Yes, I was gonna
By your state.
I apologize. Florida man. But I feel like their perspective on life or the world
Their
is so
block.
limited. It's this city, you know. If I live in Pompano, I live in Fort Lauderdale, I live wherever you are. It's like you don't want nothing more than that.
Yeah.
The level of ambition I find is lacking.
True.
You know,
You mean
and
between
even
American and
American and
Yes.
Jamaican man, and even the
Yes, I agree.
hustling mentality.
Yes.
It's very different to
So
me.
who do you think hustling?
Florida.
Jamaican man,
Jamaican.
any way to take it.
Exactly.
Because let me tell you
Hands
something.
down, hands down.
Hands
They-
down.
Yeah.
Because
They're not gonna accept one thing about Jamaican
No.
man. Them boys, they want everybody to know so them active.
them
Yes,
acting.
yes.
Absolutely. And they will work for
you see that in
you.
and out jail business. We're not dep on that.
No,
I want
but
everybody to know. Look on Instagram. You just go and see a dear Jamaican man run the place on Instagram.
Well, I gotta
It's
speak
not
up on
them
this
have
one.
money and everything like that.
Can't
I
wanna
gotta
speak
speak
up.
up on this
Chime
one.
in, go for it.
Because you gotta name the region. Again, once I came out here to Florida, I was like, what is really going on? I didn't understand.
In terms of what?
Of Florida.
A
No.
man, American man.
They don't, it's like their block is their life. And it's like there is a whole nother
Who you talking
corner to
about?
go.
American
The
man.
Florida
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know,
Florida
and
man
it's like,
specific.
Yeah.
there's another whole corner around from you. You don't walk over there. You know, and then it's
because
like,
honestly, they have a very slave mentality, and it's not. I'm not
No,
trying to be
no,
funny,
you're right.
but it is. I noticed that the Americans, Southern Americans down here, them have a slave mentality. They don't believe if they go to the store, they don't own that store. Them have to go there. Them have to go. This is store. Them have to go to that store
They're in
and
the rat
whatever,
race.
everything. Right.
Them can't come outside. They don't
Right.
see any
Exactly.
life
They don't say,
outside
well,
of
you
it.
know what? Me, I go out and go get something. Jamaican can go in the store and say, yo,
Me can't have one of this too.
Hey,
What do you mean?
Store, you know.
but where
Right next to them.
But where I'm from, and you can see it in my son. We're down here in the South, and my son does not have that mentality. It's like, for example, when I was coming up, you could not talk to a girl. You could not ask her out. You could not say you were dating unless you had a car. We're talking like 16. Once we were 16, we were expected to have a car. And you were expected to be able to maintain that car. Not
Where
your
did you
mom
grow
and
up
dad.
at? Where did
So
you
I
grow
was born in Illinois, but I lived longer in New York.
Okay.
But
So
you're
you're up
talking
north,
about
so that's what
this
I'm
was up north.
Yeah, that's
so
what
when
I'm
you're
saying.
talking
This is why you're in that
about
mentality,
American
you see?
men, and these
Exactly.
guys, these boys would come to you and they had their own money. We were running our own business starting at the age of 13, 14 up north, and this is the guys too. And they were like, so when they set their eyes on whoever, if they knew that they wanted to be with that girl, we're talking like some of my friends had their first house at 19. So we're not, when you're talking about region, you gotta talk about states because it seems like the up north guys, they push.
Oh no! I already know that.
Yeah,
I know the
yeah.
up north. That's why I said north and south is totally different.
It
The
is
southern
different.
mentality. That's why I said the southern
Yes.
men and women down here.
Mhm.
Their
It's
mentality
different.
is more slavery.
But
Yeah.
there's
Up
been a
north,
shift.
been known that for years. Up north, man, them and woman is totally
But
different.
there's
Yeah.
been a shift. There's been a shift in
Totally
that
different.
because my father was born in Mississippi. There's been a shift. See, it used to be that down south, they wanted better. There was a push. But again, going back to and having come down here and taught in the schools for 2 years, even going back to what you said, there has been a shift in our music. There used to be, and me and my son were talking about this the other day, when we listened to old school songs, it used to be, I love you.
Yep.
Your mind, I want to
Absolutely.
give you flowers, earth,
Yeah.
and fire.
Listen.
Devotion.
We don't have to talk about EH and all that. But going back into the 70s, we already done know the music back then. Really big. That's how you know some man really love it. If you listen to a song and you just say, Lord Jesus, say that man, I love that woman. He really, really love her.
Mhm.
Now,
Slam
but
it.
it goes even now with our dance hall music.
Yeah.
What is it that they talk about all the time? Like, speaking back to what you were saying about the dance, about music too. Our dance hall music right now for the younger people, them.
Hey, dash out, skin out, gunman, kill that, kill everything.
Listen,
It's all about the oral sex. Them bash Aishana bad
No, but
because
listen,
Aishana come out. She
Listen.
said,
Chew on my pum pum, French fries.
she's the man and bounty killer get up there and kill her.
Listen,
Tiffany, listen. We could go on and but
She said it was hilarious.
but
When she brought up
Like
music,
French fry. But yeah, when Cartel said,
hello.
freaky girl and them girl, them
I with that,
that's one of my songs too.
we gonna do another show on that. Because we could, as I said, the way how we going on with this liquor, we could be going on and on and on. So we go pause and we
I'm
go
living that cowgirl life.
yeah. So we gonna pick this up. We gonna pick this up in the next.
We love.
In the
Next
next
episode. In the next episode, so you have to come back and join us to find out the end result of this conversation. Alright, so I want to thank you guys for joining, kicking it with Reecy with my peoples.
That's right.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Alright,
having
and,
us. I appreciate it.
and I'm gonna try not to be drinking because Anyway,
Love the show. The show.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Chef J, Kim,
Cheers.
Condra, and Tiffany. What we say?
Toast it up.
Kimberly, toast to kicking it with Reecy. Alright, see you next
Cheers.
time.
Cheers.
Yeah, that
That was a good one.
You hard and brace you up against the wall. But why in you sleep him name your call? Girl, don't tell me say you're sorry, me no need it. You never sorry when you did hurt me feelings. You get me out and break it off in many pieces. You left me scarred with no regard and hurt me deeply, deeply. Tell me if you really want to get deeper.